Welcome back to FELSBRUNN on Farming Simulator 19 for episode 14 with me, MrSealyp. The happy fields of FELSBRUNN are about to be disturbed somewhat. Where do they come from? Never mind. The cultivator needs a bit of repair. I'm going to do that in a second. I've got a contract going on fertilising field 13. As you've already seen, I've limed field 18. We need to plough them all together now. I said I was going to do that. The price of silage is climbing again. I have another full pallet of wool to go onto the trailer. We should be able to get it on. What is that? Odd. We'll sort that out. I definitely want to aim towards getting another plot of land that's fairly flat, or I'm going to have to pay to flatten it, and I want to get a larger sheep enclosure. I'm definitely going to do that. I don't know whether or not I'm going to transfer these sheep into it and then get rid of this one. That would seem like a waste of feed and stuff. Or whether just buy a new one and just stock that, and then what I can do is keep this one, and when I reach that limit, when I get towards 80, I can take a few out each time and move them into the larger one. I don't know, I'm just options. I'm thinking about this as well. I don't use this tank. Generally speaking, I'm working a kind of hand-to-mouth existence at the moment, where I hang on, let's just repair this while I'm doing it. 47. Yeah, where I'm literally just doing the crop, selling the crop, doing a crop, selling a crop. I don't have enough to store at the moment, so I did think about selling it. I thought, you know what, I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to do anything with it. It needs to stay. I'm going to use the JCB for ploughing. I was hoping that the money would have gone up enough, or at least the what's it called? What the silage is worth, so I could sell all those bales, get a bigger tractor, and therefore get a bigger plough to do the job I've got to do, because I'm still going to be fairly limited to what size plough I can get. But that's just part and parcel. So this is being recorded. What day is it? It's Monday the 4th of February. Only 10 days till Valentine's Day, ladies and gents, if you do that kind of thing, if you're into all that. Yeah, so I don't know what's going to happen mod-wise today, whether anything's going to come out or not. We've had the weekend. I think people were quite expectant for a map on Friday, which didn't happen. But you've got to keep an eye on the mods in testing. There were a couple of maps on there. Generally speaking, when the mods come out, obviously they disappear off there, because they're now in the mod hub. If something disappears off there and hasn't been released as a mod, you've got to ask yourself, it's probably failed testing. So I know Marwell Manor was on there, and there was Grizzly Mountain, was it? And there was something else on there that disappeared off there, and I think everyone thought, great, they're going to be released, and nothing came into the mod hub. So I'm assuming they've gone back for a little bit of tweaking and whatever it is they need to have done. Turn the lights on just so I can see that palette a little bit easier. Might lower it off. No. Should be now though. There we go. Oh, contract in 13's finished already. Actually, I'm going to put this on from the other side. It'll be easier while I haven't got a crop in the field. Yeah, so nearly a full trailer. I think I might have to invest in a larger trailer on here as well. I haven't really done many transport jobs on this map. What I'll do is put it on there and I can push it on the other way, can't I, to get it to sit a bit better. Should be alright. Actually, that's alright, don't do anything with that. Perfect. Let's get a strap on that for the time being. Just one will do. And once that's full, we'll get another one on and we'll take all 6 to sell. We're nearly there. Like I say, I want to get more sheep because I want to increase that production. I want it to be far greater. Now the bales aren't 2,000 litres for wool. Only 1,000 litres. Just turn it off there. Now you may have already noticed I've got a set of forks here and I've got a set of forks over at the store as well for putting big bags into the fertilizer spreader, lime spreader. I was considering buying the lime station. I downloaded it, installed it. It's 30 grand to place. And you think, okay, it does mean it's easy, it's accessible, it's right here, but the store's only just over there at the moment. I thought it would make life easier, but then you think about 400 for each bag, or pallets a little bit more, but that's going to take me a lot of those pallets to get to 30 grand to kind of recoup that money for a tiny bit of travelling backwards and forwards. So I thought, you know what, probably going to leave it. Now what I'm going to do now is very quickly we'll go into the menu and we will take payment for that. And now we'll take on another one. Let's do field. It doesn't really matter actually. 27, 21. There's loads of fertilising jobs all the way down there, isn't there? I'll just do one after the other, I guess. Just bounce from one to the next. Accept contract. Where's field 27? I should know that by now. Oh, it's right by the farm. And my spreader is over by field 13, so I'll get that in a minute. So what I need to do now is sort out a plough. So off to the store. Oh, I've got my lights on. Don't need my lights on. That payday is not far away for those silage bales. We're up over 430 for 1,000 litres at the moment. I need to change this back to euros because it's still sitting on dollars. What I wouldn't give for those chimper ploughs, and the fact that the subsoilers, if you could use the subsoilers, I know they give you a ploughing state, but for actually ploughing that would be brilliant. Let's turn it off a second. Not that one. What am I doing? It is that one. Ploughs. We'll get there in a minute. 180 horsepower, 300. So I haven't got 300 horsepower. So I mean, they jump up so quickly. Is that what I used last time? Or did I use that last time, the Salford? I can't remember. POH5 sounds familiar. It's going to take me a little while, but I might have got away with the other one actually. But now we'll release this. What's that? 714. I don't know how long it's going to take me. But even if it takes me into the next hour, it's going to be like 1,400, 1,500. It's not too bad. Right. I remember when I did my my tractor driving experience at Hilltop Farm, and I had to back the John Deere into the barn, I'd done a lot of driving around and trailer moving and whatnot, and I had to hook up the plough because I did a bit of ploughing too, so I had to back the tractor up to the plough so we could hook the plough up. Wow, that was a game. This one hasn't got a wheel on. It has got a wheel on, so why is that not? That's weird. Okay. Yeah, and I kept edging forward and backward and forward and backward, and it was, I just needed to get a tiny little bit closer, like inch perfect. We got there in the end, and it's not too bad because the 3-point link on the back, the two arms have got a little bit of play and movement in them, and then on the back of the John Deere where the kind of fenders come over, there were I didn't realise it had controls on the back there to control the 3-point link on the back, which is brilliant. So it was a case of fiddling around with that and then hooking it up, and that was good fun. Thoroughly enjoyed that. I only say that because I was just, I wasn't really straight onto the plough just then when I hooked it up, and it just suddenly reminded me of how precise that had to be. Stu, we are. I think I want it that way around. Go there to start off with. Now, this is where this all gets a little bit interesting. I need to put it on now. What do I want? L1 triangle should allow create fields, I think. If I recall correctly. What we'll do is try and take it off that corner. It does. Perfect. We'll head over here. This is all just guesswork at the moment. I'm not, it's in no way precise. I just want to try and kind of follow the road. I know it started off very tight up that end, but I want to give myself a bit of turning room. And try and arc towards, if I can, that corner. Like that. Lift the plough. Now I could have straightened this up completely actually, but I could do, couldn't I? I think I might do that. It's a bit of fiddling around, really, just kind of gauging how you want to do it. Bring it up to about there. Well, it goes over the track a bit, doesn't it? But trying to get that line just right there. That's better. Not perfect, but it's better. Take this from here. See if I can take that more directly across, maybe. Oh, it's not bad. I've certainly done worse. I've done better, but I've done worse. Once I've got my outline, then it'll just be a case of going backwards and forwards, getting the rest in. Now, I don't know whether this... I can't remember from when I ploughed the last one. Was that terrible? My memory's that bad. Did I have to lime it? Having just limed that, let's raise that up and check in here. Let's go to soil composition. Yes, it needs lime. Oh, that's just... well, that's just dandy, isn't it? Of course it does. Right. Well, it doesn't matter. I'll come over and cultivate as well anyway. And then I'm going to put canola in this one. I'm going to leave the bottom as it is. From here is going to be a little bit more difficult, so I've got to get a different angle on this. Let's try that to start off with, and I can tidy up from there. That bale's right in the way, isn't it? Of course. Actually, it's not too bad. That might be a good marking point actually to start my turn. There we go. Okay, let's flip that over. Drop that down. Let's get that angle just right. Okay. Not bad at all. Need to get that just right angle. There we go, that's better. So I've joined that. Use this point here to maybe just try and get this a little bit better. Join to there. Okay. It's still going rather well. Cruise control on, make life a little bit easier. Keep that tyre just on there, and that should keep the plough lined up nicely where I want it to be. Brilliant! Right, we are getting there. This is going to take a little while now because, it's like I say, it's not a very big plough, so it will take some time. Then I'll have to lime it, and then I'll just cultivate that in to match up everything else, and then hopefully, I really hope that the silage prices come up enough. If I start selling some, I can get a new seeder, because that was the next thing as well. New tractor, new seeder, and we can kind of up level what we're doing. I'll go straight to the end on this one. But you can see where we're going with this. It's going to be a fairly large field, this one now. I don't want to put soy back in it again. We've done soybean twice in it, and that was more about making money. So we're not going to do soy again. But then that said, canolas were pretty good for price, sunflowers pretty good for price. Swing it around a little bit. Lift it, turn it. No, actually I didn't need to turn it, did I? Leading edge of the plough, where I want to cut, there we go. Now again, for those of you that are maybe new to the franchise and all that kind of thing, turning of the plough, it will do if you hire a worker anyway. Generally speaking, the leading edge of the plough is on the edge that you're cutting from, and then the plough goes away from that initial cut. Do you need to do that in game? No, you don't. You can plough either way around. It really doesn't matter. It's more about the look, the aesthetic, and the kind of, you know, doing it properly. Realistically, that's what it's for. So anyway, I'm going to get this done. My fertilising fun has brought me up the mountain again. My next two jobs are fields 1 and 2, which are just up here. I think field 4 needs fertilising, which is just over that way somewhere. Yeah, because that's field 3, that's grass, I think. Field 1, is it the top one? It is. Let's open that up. So my money kind of goes up and down, you know. The fertilising contracts don't pay as much on FELSBRUNN as they do on Ravenport. So the last couple of fertilising jobs I've just done have pretty much paid for the fertiliser that I've put in it now. I put 3 of the big bags in, which came in at 9,600, I think it does. But I've now got 7,500 litres in here, which should last me quite a while. So then the next contracts I do will then, that's all profit, you know. So it's one hand feeding the other kind of thing. So yeah, we're up the top again, and what I did notice driving up as well, looking over towards the farm, you could really see the size of the new field. Obviously I can't at the moment because I'm here. Maybe we'll have a whiz over and have a look in a second, but anyway, so I'm up here doing this. You've seen a couple of the end contract screens that I often put up. The ploughing is continuing. I've done the main strip down the middle. I've just got to do the bottom triangle down by the road. So I'm kind of bouncing between a couple of jobs at the moment. And I just wanted to check as well that the silage price is now on 448. Hang on. Yep, 448 and still climbing. That's good. That dropped as low as like 314, I think it was, which was just, there was no way I was going to sell the bales at that price. I did consider speeding up time a little bit. I don't often do it. I don't really like doing it. Generally speaking, I do contracts through the night to get the money up. So even buying the deck chairs on both maps, I haven't skipped the night at all. I kind of just work through generally. I did a little bit on this one, did I? Oh, I can't remember now because I'm bouncing between the two. But yeah, this one, that's going to be a big old payout. I know I keep saying that, and the thing is now I've built it up, and I hope it's going to be a big payout. It should be. Anyway, what's this on now? 55%. The next one, let's say, is field 2 there for 4,200. And then we've got field 4, which is just across the way, so I'll do all of those up here. That's why I wanted to try and fill up the fertiliser spreader as much as possible, because I can get all of those 3 fields done up here on the mountainside without having to go back and refill. And then I think I've got one on field 32, which is just behind. There's the hillside. Where are we? Here. There's this big ridge here, and 32 is kind of round the back of it. So I thought I'll get all the ones done over here first, which I did 27, 26, 25. Up the hill then for 1, 2 and 4. And then we'll go back down and do 32. Then get that, probably have to do a bit of repair work on the spreader. Because I did notice that the spreader itself, as that starts to need work, I found that I was using more, I think I've mentioned that before, I think I was using more fertiliser. It certainly felt like I was. I did a couple of contracts on fields that I'd done before and just had a funny feeling I'd used more fertiliser. So yeah, keeping that well maintained is probably the best idea. This will be complete in a moment. A lot of fields now not far off, right, not far off ready to harvest actually. So when we get into harvest season, that's when we start to make money as well, because we get the money for the contracts, but then anything left over the top is all extra money. Right, so I need to complete that contract before I can take on the next one. So that one then is contract complete. Collect, field 2, accept contract. And there we go. Marvellous. Right, I'm going to jump out, get out of the way. So we can just see ahead of us, just over there, that's the new field. That one there's field 20, that's 19, and that's 18, and you can see the gap between the two has been filled, and it's just over the brow that you can't quite see at the moment. So yeah, that's not doing too bad. Ploughing's complete. As you've seen, I emptied out the fertiliser that was left. There was over 6,000 litres. I way overdid it for those top fields. Back at the store, I've now put lime in that. We've got some talcum powder in. We're good to go. I did, in my ploughing excitement, kind of straighten out this curve a little bit, because this field kind of went round and bent in a little bit. So from the corner here, where the corner originally was, just over here, it had a weird kind of bend in it around that way. So I thought if I kind of straighten that out, it's not straight, you know what I mean? It's still bent, but you know. Obviously that bit was done, so I've done the blend between the two. This triangle here, but what I also did, which I didn't show when I first started doing the ploughing, I've taken a couple of strips on this side of the field as well. I thought I'll go as far out onto the boundary as I can, might as well. So I've put another couple of strips in here that run the entire length of the field, so it all adds up. Now we've got to do the old got a talc, put a talc on it. Yeah, I don't think I've got enough. How much have I got in here? 8,000 litres. Well, that might be enough. We'll see how we get on. And then behind I've got the JCB with the Agramash cultivator, so we'll get that done. The plough's gone back. Let's open that out. Now this is going to be completely overkill for this bit. I'm going to be putting on way more than I need to, but at the end of the day, it's got to be covered. It just goes down so quickly. That's the problem, isn't it? I'll swing over as far as I can now, like that. Still got 1,000 litres left at the store, and I think I've got a pallet where I unloaded this to put the fertilizer in at the farm. So I've got some spare. Okay, that's that bit done. So I see all these awkward little triangles where you kind of, you're wasting it. I suppose I could go across the other way, but just get it done. I suppose I am a limey, so you know, might as well go with it. Let's pull that over a little bit. Now, will this do that strip, or is it going to miss a bit either side? No, that'll do it. Hire a worker, do that strip. There's a little bit, bit of an overlap there. Let's have a look on the map and see how that's showing. Probably not great, I would imagine. Oh no, it's alright, it's showing as covered. That's the main thing, then that strip down the side, okay. Okay. It's all looking good. That doesn't like that bit. I shall do that bit myself. Turn on. I'm running low. Turn this bit around here. Tell you what, it's not a bad size field now. Look at the size of that. She's a big un. Okay, so it's just that strip down the other side then, isn't it? There might be a couple of little bits here and there. I know sometimes if I line up the spreader and it's not quite on the edge, you get a tiny little strip showing. This is probably going to run out, isn't it? Oh, how well have I judged this? So next job then, I'll get the cultivator out, cultivate in all the ploughed bits, and then we're good for seeding. Oh no, I suppose I can fertilise it. I need to fertiliser, spread it. I've got plenty of fertiliser left, so I'll get fertiliser on the bits that need doing, and then that's good for seed. Oh no, we're going to be alright, I think. I've only got one little bit left, haven't I? I might have judged that just right. Okay, that's that bit. I think there's a tiny little bit over here, isn't there? Or did I do it? There you go, that little bit there. And we are job done. Fantastic. Right. What I will do then, I'm going to put the lime that's here into it, so that when I unload, I haven't got odds and ends all over the place, because that's really annoying, doesn't it? Although I can't remember how much is in this. Okay, well I'm going to have 4 then, aren't I? Let's put these here, out the way. That's all the lime I need to do for a while. Oh no, 2. It's 2,000 each, isn't it? Cool, that's that done. That seriously needs a wash. Look at the state of it. It might actually. Oh yeah, that was what I want. Owned items. No, still not shown as needing repair. I did repair it actually pretty much every time I go back to the store, so we're going to be alright. Right, turn that on, open that up. Now the problem is the lime is hiding. Oh no, you can still see the plough lines, that's alright. Let's drop that down. So I don't actually need to cultivate in the lime that's gone over cultivated bits already. That will just happen seeding, but I'm going to need to make sure I do all the ploughed bits, unless of course the manure comes up. I suppose I could wait a little while before I seed this and get all the money for the manure, and then I've got I can get a nicer seeder, so then technically this wouldn't be necessary, but I kind of do it anyway, just as a matter of course. I know sometimes you can just see directly onto. I'm waffling now, and I am. You can see directly onto a ploughed field with the direct drill. No, not with a direct drill. Anyway, you can seed onto ploughed. Actually, yeah. Why am I doing this? You can seed directly onto ploughed or cultivated, can't you? So this actually just needs fertilising. It doesn't actually need cultivating. What am I thinking? It's if you've got a freshly harvested field and you haven't got a direct drill, you need to plough or cultivate. But you can seed directly onto ploughed or cultivated ground, can't you? Ugh, so yeah, I'm wasting my time doing this actually. Well, actually, we can do that as a test later on. Let's put that away. Right, so just waiting on those pesky prices now. As far as contracts go, I've done all of them apart from two. Oh, he says that, and now they're all here. All the harvesting ones have popped up now. Got another fertilising one there to do on 31. Cool. And we've got some harvesting to do. Oh no, that's going to take some time. Mind you, field 23. That's not a big field, is it? 23. Mumbling again to myself. 23. Oh, it's not a bad size field. Be a nice bit of money on that as well. Yeah, so I'm going to need to fertilise that section there, 19 and 20. There's a lot of weird spots. Yeah, okay. Oh, right. So what do I do now? So I carry on doing some contracting work, take on one of those harvest jobs, and just wait for the manure price to come up, or not manure, silage, keep saying that. Or do I... Yeah, do I speed up time? I don't want to speed up time. Don't want to do it. Today's episode was all about me prepping this field. This is what I wanted to get done. In my head I had an idea of, right, I need to get this done in this episode, and that was it. I needed to get it ploughed out, limed, and in my head I thought cultivated, but yeah, like I say, that's not necessary. But what I will do as well, let's get that cleaned. I mean, within 2 fertilising jobs it's going to be filthy again anyway, but doesn't hurt. Keep your equipment clean. Fantastic. Let's give the old fent a bit of a going over too. Cool, right, voice to one side because that's going to need to go back to the store to get fertilizer back in it again. While I decide what I'm going to do. I decided to take the contract on field 23. I've borrowed from the farmer the Roper Panther 2. Let's hook up this header. and we'll just, for transport purposes, fold it up out of the way. If we haven't got a header trailer, actually there is a weight there, isn't there? Oh no, hang on. That's my weight from. I thought, oh, there's a weight as part of the contract. There's a fence at 240. I can't remember what we've been borrowed, what we've been lent. Yeah, 724. Fantastic. So, yeah, the Joskin's not a big trailer. I have got my truck and trailer, which I'll probably bring over. That'll make this job a lot easier, and this has got to be taken to Grain Elevator East, which is the one that way, isn't it? Over the ridge and over the other side of the river, if I remember correctly. Let's open this up en route. No, wrong one. That's what I want to do. Field 23 is only just down here anyway. Just down the road a little bit. Although this is the one that's at a funny angle. It's not quite 45 degrees, so it's not quite a diagonal. So you kind of set a worker off, if you're going to hire a worker. It goes a little bit bizarre. So yeah, that will go straight up and down that way, but the main length of the field goes that direction. And if you set off a worker, it goes a diagonal kind of that way, not that way, which is the way the field goes back. Again. Can't do a lot about that, that's just the way it is. There's a harvest there for sunflower on field, is that 22? Or maybe that's not ready yet, because it hasn't come up on the contracts page. There was a contract, and I blew it. It was on field, and I can't remember which field it was now. I clicked on it, but rather than click on borrow items, I clicked on accept contract, and I didn't have the right equipment to do it, so I had to fail it. And I thought, well, if I come out of the game, come back in again, it'll re-pop up again. It might pop up again later on anyway, because that field's still going to need doing at some point. But it disappeared. So yeah, and then a whole load of fertilising jobs have popped up again. So anyway, let's get on with this. And I'm pretty sure now, with this, we've come to the end of this episode. Now, my field is now ready. Hopefully, by the time it takes me to do this harvest, the price of the silage will have come up more. I'm going to do a couple more contracts, and then the next episode on here, on FELSBRUNN, we should be able to sell the bales at last. We should be able to get a new seeder. We should be able to get a bigger tractor. There should be a few more options open. So I'm going to continue doing this. We've got 256 grand in the bank, which isn't too bad. Yeah, I mean, this is a very narrow header, so this is going to take quite a while. Not to worry, and of course it's the smaller of the ropers. It's not the Roper Tiger, which would have been better with a bigger header and stuff, but you know, this is what I was lent. This is what I'm going to use. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I know it doesn't seem like much has got done, but realistically, sorting out that big field, for me, makes a massive amount of difference. It's huge. So I'm now ready to then put something else in that, and that was what I intended to do in this episode. We've got a few more contracts done, a bit more money in the bank, a bit of repair work, another pallet of wool onto the trailer. So, you know, it's all ticking along, tickety-boo and all that. If you have enjoyed this episode, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest, whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.